We might have some ancillary sounds from over here. Justin's in the meeting and Lily has the iPad, but hopefully. Also,
just fine. However it happens, if it's literally, we have to plan, like say, okay, we're going to do it next Monday and then allow ourselves at least 4 days
7
out
days.
from that. Yeah. And that's okay. Like we don't have a choice. It's how it works.
It just is what it is. And also my chair farts. So if you hear a sound, I promise you I'm not flatulent today.
I probably wouldn't even hear it. The thing is, like, we probably don't hear half of what we hear on our end.
What did you say?
I have so much to show today. I've been knitting a ton.
I'm here.
I've become like a sock fanatic again.
You have, and you have spurred that on in me as well. I actually think my only projects I have to show are socks. Is that awful?
Same, except for, no, you have a finished object and I have of course, 94.5% finished project that I was supposed to finish.
Well, okay.
Oh, it's so beautiful on you.
I literally just wove in the ends of the arms so that I could wear it and have it look like I
finished. It's beautiful. Did you block it?
Not yet.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't need any.
I know. The only thing I kind of want to block it for is to kind of relax the pearl bumps a little, but I also don't know. I might just wear it for a bit because I also think wearing a garment tends to block it a bit.
Well, especially because it's not a baggy, loose-fitting garment.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we start now that we've chatted?
Okay. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry for the glare.
It's not that bad. This will be kind of a good test run to see how much I notice it, because I feel like I'm just kind of like the test audience.
Yes, I agree. I actually find it rather annoying because it is hitting my eyes.
So it's really bright for you to see.
Everything is bright for me because I'm so tired of being on a screen and looking at a screen and looking at myself on a screen. Like, I'm so over the screen thing.
I know. I have to say, when you and Dad and Jake came to visit, it was so nice to just look at a real flesh face.
Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting because I feel like Charlie felt that. Not Lily, probably, but mostly Charlie. Like, I think she realized we were real. Well, we were like you and Daddy.
Because this is the first time since she was an infant.
Yeah, the last time we were there, or the last time I saw her was the very beginning of November.
Yes, but that was just you and just for less than 24 hours.
Overnight to help you guys out with an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and I feel it now when I see her on screen. I feel like she trusts that I'm a real human being. And it could be just her age. It could be anything, but the interacting is different. It's different.
I think the visit had a lot to do with that.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, welcome to another episode of the LegacyKnitz podcast. It has been a long time since we have been here last, but that's life. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Do you know what hit me?
What?
I watch a lot of floss tubes, to be honest with you, because they relax me from the business world. And people are like, oh, we're on our 100th episode, and they've been filming for like a year. And I'm like, we still have not hit 100.
Not even close. Well, no, we are close, actually. I think we're like mid 90s.
Are we? I literally laughed out loud thinking like, wow, we've been doing this for 4 years and we can't hit 100.
Maybe not mid 90s. Maybe we're mid 80s. It's so funny though, because I remember when we first started, we were so good about like every week, but we also weren't running a business at that point.
We weren't running a business. You didn't have 2 babies. You didn't live in Vermont.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always just so proud of us. Yeah. I'm proud of us when we can get in front of a camera at any point, because we have accumulated a lot of wonderful life things.
Exactly. And we're both so busy, but in different ways.
Mhm.
And so to marry those two is literally our plan was to do it on Monday. Like, no problem. Let's just do it on Monday. But I even say that with Rachel for our floss tube. If she says Thursday or Friday, I say Thursday just in case Thursday doesn't work. Then we have Friday.
Totally.
So yeah, so
It's just
I don't
life.
know. I don't feel guilty about it. I just feel like this is an add-on to our business and we love it. We do it when we can.
Yeah. And most of the time we do it when we have really exciting news to share or like new things in the shop that we really want to make sure y'all are apprised of. So,
Mhm.
and we definitely have a lot of that for this episode.
We have a lot to share about the business, a lot, and it's all so I feel like we're just on the cusp of shift and
Mhm.
all good. Nothing drastic, but it feels drastic even though it's not.
It's just like a fun little refresh. You know how like things just, I
Mm.
mean, I'm sure I'm speaking to everyone right now, where in life things just get a little stale, a little sticky, like you kind of just feel like you want movement, but you don't know in what direction, or it kind of feels like we found our direction to kind of get unstuck.
It sounds like we definitely found our direction. I feel like we've had, I mean, business wise, not really, but just motivation wise, there's been a little bit of a lull. And all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you, I could not be more excited. I could not be more excited. I just feel like we patiently waited for that influx of motivation, inspiration, whatever. It's really hard to do to be
Mhm.
patient with it. But I feel like we were super patient and we just let things organically flow, which has always been our goal. Always.
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of fun, exciting things to share with you about the business. We have some fun new projects that we are obsessed with. And yeah, I have a
Obsessed.
finished object that we just started talking a little bit about. Should we hop right into the knitting or should we do like life update? How do we want to make this flow?
How do we normally? I feel like
We
I
just
don't
kind of
care. I would say go with the flow of what you're feeling because I'm not feeling any particular.
okay. So first I'm drinking coffee
Got
because
nothing.
oh, not even water?
No.
Oh. Well, so I've started watching the Gilmore Girls again. And I am thoroughly 100% obsessed. It's been long enough that now the storyline is just, it feels fresh again. It feels like I'm kind of reacclimating with the characters. Anyway, but they drink so much coffee on that show. And every time I hear them say, let's go get a cup of coffee, I'm like,
Okay. I'm
okay.
right behind you.
So my coffee intake has gone up a little bit since starting watching that show. So that's what
Well,
I'm
let's
doing
just
today.
say it. You also need it to go up
I
to
do.
get through your day.
On some days, it's just an inevitability that there's going to be a second and sometimes a third cup. Most days, I stick to just one cup in the morning. I would say like 90% of my days, I stick to one cup.
Really? You don't do an afternoon coffee?
Lately, I have been, I'd say the last week, I've been doing an afternoon cup, but I try
Mm.
not to. I try to either do like tea or exercise instead, because that will sometimes give me a little extra energy. But lately, I've been doing, again, I credit the Gilmore Girls to it. But look at the mug.
I
It's from
love it.
Amanda from Doghouse Pottery. Oh my gosh. Okay. Before we start podcasting, I was watching the Hey Brownberry podcast with our friend Mars, and she learned something. I think it was at a workshop she said that she took that as podcasters, and I mentioned this in my Chelsea Makes vlog this past week, as podcasters, a lot of times we'll be talking about a project and it will be up to the camera like this, and we'll continue talking about it. But what she said she didn't realize, and what I didn't even realize, was people that need to read lips, it takes away that entire conversation from them. And I know that there's closed captions. You can turn those on YouTube, but they're not always accurate and it's
Mhm.
not always the same. So,
And you know what? I should realize that because I am a lip reader. Like masks blow my mind, like because I can't hear as well with them.
mhm,
Because I do read lips a lot. Not like to hear, but it's an added like, oh yeah, I didn't quite get that, but I saw that. And we've talked about it. I grew up, my best friend was deaf,
mhm,
and she mostly red lips. She really did. Like, we didn't do a lot of signing. We did some signing. She would actually mock me and laugh at my signing because I wasn't super good at it. She literally would mock me, like, really? So I should be so aware of that. That is such a great point.
So yes, exactly. So I just, before we started, and last week during my vlog on Chelsea Makes, I was super conscious of it and I had to go back a couple times and repeat myself and pull it away, but let's try our hardest, you and I together, to just kind of.
I totally agree. I think that's such a good point. It just, and it also, you know what, like, I became very aware of it this past week when I was out and about with a mask on, which is, of course, that's all I do. But I think I was thinking, like, before I left, my lips are so dry, I should put on some chapstick. Nobody sees anything.
No, but that's also a comfort thing. When my lips are dry, it's very uncomfortable. I will do that a lot of times before I put my mask on because I know I won't be able to apply when I'm out and about. So yeah.
Well, and I shared this with you. It's so funny because I was getting my hair done and I have a mask on and I looked in the mirror. I literally took a double take because we are carbon copies without my glasses from here up. And my bangs were really down like yours because they were getting cut. And the young girl that cuts our hair is a family member. And so she knows you, of course. And she was like, I was like, Tia, like, I look just like I couldn't stop looking because I've never seen that before. I've never seen it. So yeah.
I feel like as I've gotten older and my face has changed as I've gotten older, I do feel like I'm definitely morphing into like more of your side of the
more the Philip side.
Yeah, because I do think when I was growing up, I was a pretty 50-50 split of you and dad.
You definitely, in my book, looked, except then I would see pictures of me when I was young and I could see it. But you definitely leaned more towards the Stokes side. And I say Philip isn't even my maiden name. It's my mom's maiden name, but the Phillips have such strong traits that I always refer to. I have the look of a Philip.
Yeah.
So funny.
I definitely see it.
And so funny being with Lily for those few days, really seeing, I have never really seen myself in her and hair alone when we wake up in the morning. Our hair is, I'm like, Lily, you look just like Grammy.
Yeah.
It's all like.
Well, it's so funny because so many of you guys have said like, oh my gosh, Lily is a carbon copy of Sue. And I have always seen it, like I can recognize, but it's not me. You know what I mean? If someone were to say, oh, she looks just like you, I'd be like, I don't know if she does.
I know, because I see so much of Justin and his family and her. Like, she has so much Justin.
Totally.
Oh yeah. Anyways.
So anyways,
we will not hold things in front of our mouth. That's the moral of this story.
Or if we do, it will be to show after we speak about.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we talk about my location? Because it's very different and almost professional looking.
Let's do it. We're so close.
I'm in the basement.
You're in the basement, but you'd never know based on the lighting because we can all see we've got a ring light.
We got a ring light. Well, we'll talk about that in a while, but we're doing an event that requires it because I needed to be in the basement with our yarn. And I sit here in this, if you could see the rest, it's an absolute bomb. You know, you've been here many times, but I had cleaned it. It's no longer clean. The ping pong table Advent, the beginning of Advent has taken over already. I have boxes of yarn everywhere, undyed. Racks and racks of dyed yarn, but it makes me dream about this space and thinking like, oh my gosh, it is the best space for a dye studio.
Sure is.
The best space. But we know we're not going to be here for a long time more. So to make that transition is kind of a risk for resale. And
I know.
I wish I could say, oh, a good solid 10 years we'll be here. Then I would do it. But if it was up to me, I'd be here till I die, but that's not practical.
It's just a large house for two people, especially.
But you know what? Honest to God, I take up every square inch of it.
I believe it.
I use every square inch. There's no wasted space in this house.
So then stay there forever and get those chairs that Gramps had along the side of the. You can do
I
that.
would have to hire people to maintain the lawn. It's not the house, it's the yard and the pool.
I'm sorry, but do you not have two strapping sons?
Yeah, but one lives far away.
One does, but let's be honest, he wouldn't have helped anyway.
I
The other
know.
one is the one you really should have been targeting.
We love you, Benny.
We love you, Benny.
Okay, all right. So yes, I am in the basement. This is the one of our walls of yarn.
It's beautiful. And so do we want to talk about the event or do we want to wait until the end? That way the details are fresh.
Let's keep the details fresh and let's do knitting so that the people that are not interested in hearing about our events, our new rebranding, all of that, they if they're just here for I don't know what we've made.
Okay. Well, let's go back to my finished object because I knit a Waves of Change pullover by Denise Bayron, and I knit it out of Legacy Fiber Arts bulky weight yarn in our Cinnamon Sticks colorway. This colorway was an Advent color pulled from our 2020 Advent calendar and made a staple in our catalog.
One of my favorites.
I love it. I love it. So I'm going to stand up. As I showed you earlier, only the ends are woven in on my arms. So you're going to see some ends hanging. But this project was so fun to knit. It was so fast because it's bulky weight yarn. I did have a little snafu, but it was a happy accident. So I accidentally made the sleeves 3/4 length because, and I don't know if my gauge was off or what, but based on the pattern, and I went back and I looked to see if maybe I misread. She only called for a 12-inch sleeve from the shoulder split. I don't know why in my mind I didn't say to myself, Chelsea, 12 inch, your arms are longer than 12 inches because so she says 12 inches or 2 inches before you want the cuff. So she definitely leaves that room for like, make sure you're aware of what your arm wingspan
So
is.
it wasn't intended though to be a 3/4.
I don't think so because that was my other thought. I was like, oh, maybe it is 3/4 and I had just been missing that detail when I was looking at the photos of them. But no, so for her sample, it's long sleeve. That being said, I really kind of like it.
I do too.
I am definitely like my comfortable sleeve is just a tiny bit longer than this. Because with like dishes and playing with the girls, I feel like I'm constantly bath time.
Always.
I'm constantly pulling up my sleeves and this, I don't have to worry about that. So anyway.
So if you change your mind, do you have enough yarn that you could just simply pull the cuff out and keep going?
Yes, I have 2 extra skeins. So I started out with 8 skeins of bulky weight yarn because we weren't sure, like I hadn't taken gauge or anything. So you sent me up 8 skeins and I used 6 almost exactly.
So 6 makes that sweater, but of course yours is a very small size.
I knit a size, I think 2. I have a project page that I'll link down below, but I'm fairly certain I knit the size 2.
Yeah. Do I look really blown out? I feel really blown out.
Not really.
Okay. I feel like I'm squinting because it hurts. I'm going to turn it down a little.
Turn it down. Yeah, it's fine. Also, my bangs are so shaggy because I am growing them out.
Are you growing them out? Does that look good?
I'll need your face to know.
Oh.
The yarn looks very good. I just won't know if it's super bright on your eyes until you sit down. It looks fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just more, my eyes are so sensitive.
Well, and honestly, it doesn't even need to be that bright. Like you can dim it as much as you want.
Let's dim it a little. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
We can cut this out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, truly, honestly, the dimmer light might be more complimentary.
Yeah, I like that better. Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, that looks really good. Also, it's snowing and it looks beautiful. It looks like it's Christmas time out here. I'm gonna take.
But it's not.
Sure isn't. Nope, it's the end of April. I'm glad you asked. I'm gonna take a quick video.
We have snow. And
I'm gonna put it in here. You guys are gonna see the Daniel Tiger stickers on our slider.
I still was up there and did not see Daniel Tiger. I still am not aware of what that is like because we watched Dinosaur Train.
Dinosaur Train is the new favorite. We've slowed down a little bit on the Daniel Tiger. He still makes an appearance here and there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Chelsea, that is so pretty on you.
Thank you. I really like. You want to say hi to Grammy? Hang on.
Hi, Lil.
So here am
Did you alternate skeins, Chelsea?
I sure did. And I'm going to
I
talk.
thought you did.
I'm going to talk. So let me tuck it in so it's a little more.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Thank you. So it's right where my waist is. So my waist, my hip line is right here. So it's a little bit below, which is nice. It lifts a little bit when I move my arms, but not enough that it will be a pain. And she also, okay, so before I start going into my specific experience, the pattern is written, and I'm sure you're going to agree with me, meticulously. Literally, she offers you check boxes so that as you're going through each step, you can check it off, and just literally no detail was left on the table. It was just, it's all there for you. It is the easiest pattern to follow. It's a quick pattern. So because of that, I would say this is great for your first garment.
Oh, it's
Truly.
great. The only downfall to that is most people don't have to invest quite that amount of money.
Well,
but you might be able to go to like Joanne's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was even going to say Knit Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Knit Picks has such a good selection of yarn, and I really think that it's like a more luxurious, affordable yarn, I think.
I agree. Of course, I have to say ours are gorgeous in our yarns. But again, I look at it, for me, how I look at it is for mine, when I get to show mine is a cardigan, and I feel like it's a piece of outerwear, right? Because it's so heavy. So for me, again, we dye the yarn, so we're not paying the high price of it. But I have to admit, in my past, when I've made special sweaters and I've been willing to invest the money in it, this is one of those for me. This would have been one of those for me.
Definitely. And she does actually call that pattern a jacket.
For me, it is a jacket. It's I'm so mad I didn't finish it. Maybe I'll finish it between tonight and tomorrow for the trunk show. So busy.
I think I'm going to wear mine again. And I don't have a shirt on. Well, I have a bra on underneath, but I don't have a t-shirt or anything. So this is 100% superwash merino wool, and it is so soft. Like you can wear it right up against your skin and be super comfortable and really warm. Like I didn't think I was going to get to wear this on any kind of a camera because it was the end of April, but alas.
And it was 70 the last time we were there 2 weeks ago.
Guess what the temperature is
hot
today?
Like barefoot, shorts, half naked girls.
And today it's 28 and snowing.
Same.
So the one good thing about that, the silver lining, is that I get to wear my sweater for you guys.
Yes. And our basement is very chilly, so I could be wearing mine.
Maybe for the trunk show.
If I can finish it. Can't even remember where I left off. I'll show it in a minute.
Okay. So I did do helical knitting for this project because, as we've always said with indie dyed yarn, and especially I find with speckled indie dyed yarn, honestly, just across the board, all indie dyed yarn, we believe in alternating skeins. Now, I will say, I wish that for the yoke, I hadn't done the helical knitting. Between the raglan increases, the purl bumps, it was a lot. It was a lot of balls to juggle all at once while also alternating skeins in a circular manner. So if
I can see that.
It was a lot, and it ended up, I did get off, I think like my beginning of row ended up shifting. I was able to really kind of just intuitively adjust things as I went. But I will say, if anybody is planning on starting this with indie dyed yarn, I would say for the yoke, just pick up and drop at the same point until you get to after you split the sleeves. It's going to have the same effect. You're not going to be able to see where you picked up and put down that yarn because it's within the raglan increases. And then if you enjoy the process of helical knitting and you would like to do that, it's so easy to just start it when you're just in the body.
I love helical knitting.
Me too. And that's why I started. I was like, I can figure this out. So I started after the neck ribbing. I didn't do, no.
Always. things like that, I never start until like ribbing, never. I always just rib because it's going to have a different look anyways, right? It's like, so yeah, I would never do it in ribbing.
Yeah. And actually, after I said that, there's short row shaping in the back of the neck. So I actually waited until after the short row shaping and then I started.
I don't think mine had, doing the cardigan, I don't think it had short row shaping. Either that or I don't remember doing it.
I don't think it would have to because it already has that drape, that the front of the garment isn't fitted to the front of your body. So you're already going to have that pull down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would be surprised if there was, but maybe there was. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Either way. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else notable. I don't think so. It was super fun. It was super fun to knit. And yeah, like I said, the instructions are impeccable. So if you want to knit one and you want it to be affordable, like I said, go to Knit Picks. I think their bulky weight yarns there are great.
I agree.
Oh, okay. One more thing I wanted to mention. You asked if I had blocked it yet. I have not blocked it yet. I'm considering doing a steam block potentially if I do decide to block it because Denise did say in her pattern, because it's a bulky weight sweater, it's going to really retain a ton of water. And when you pull it out of that full soak, there's a potential for the fabric to really like pull down on itself and stretch more than you'd like. So
yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. So that's just something, again, if you're thinking about the pattern, something worth considering as you're planning.
Yes, I agree. And we don't stock the yarn in the shop. I have all the bare yarn and we do it on special orders because it's too hard and you end up wasting and not being able to sell like a couple skeins of a certain color. And then if somebody else wants it, but they need 3 more, for me, a sweater's quantity should be dyed as a sweater's quantity. So having said that, we do have all the bare yarn. You can just contact us. You do not have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks. I generally, honestly, I would dye it the day the order came in or the next day generally is how it would go. I wouldn't prolong it. I'm pretty sure I just ordered a bunch more. So I even have more bare yarn available. The only time it would take longer is if I was out of bare yarn. But just so you know, it's not a long and drawn out process. But as far as yarn management, which we are so aware of yarn management, it's really important, I think, in a business. Like I typically I would dye 10 skeins, but say you only needed 8. Well, those 2 extra skeins are just going to end up kind of hanging because no one's going to want those 2 skeins. And I'm not going to combine them with another sweater order because I don't believe in dyeing sweater quantities that way.
The only thing,
so that's just a heads up.
Yes. And you can also, I don't want anybody to think that you can only order bulky weight yarn for sweaters quantities. If you have an accessory that you want, 2 or 3 skeins, it goes across the board. If you want 1 skein, like it's totally fine. Contact us for however many or few skeins you want, and we can dye it accordingly.
Yes.
It doesn't just
happen. Because it is hard because we're not doing in-person shows right now. It's not a good business move to just have racks and racks of yarn waiting for them to sell. I would rather, we do a lot of special orders for bigger items. Of course, I do have, I mean, believe me, we have racks and racks of yarn, but it's like the more popular colors that always sell. And so, never hesitate. I do think that could be intimidating to do. Like whenever I say it, I think, would I want to do that? And really, really don't hesitate. Just send an email and we are happy to send picture. You know, we work with you. We really, really work very closely with you. So don't hesitate. You want to see my sweater?
Yes, I do. Please show me.
So I went with the cardigan and oh my gosh, what is my colorway? Is it
Cuppa?
Cuppa. Okay. So I went with Cuppa, which it's funny because when you dye bulky yarn, it feels very different. It's very bulky and it takes dye differently. And so I dyed it. Look I only have 1 sleeve left to go. Oh no, I have to finish this and then this. But the band is on, everything's done. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. We have our friend Luann, I think she did worn leather.
Yes.
And so when I dyed this is what I wanted it to look like, exactly, like to a T. But when I dyed the yarn, ooh, I wish I had a bear skein, or not a bear skein, a skein. Oh, I do. Well, yeah, it looks beautiful twisted. But when it was in the pan, I was like, oh, I am not getting the effect I want. I was not happy about it. And then it dried, and then I twisted, and then I knit, and it's exactly what I wanted. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like a different, because it's so bulky, and how all the areas that grab the dye, and isn't it lovely?
It's so timeless.
It, which, you know, for me is always the goal, especially a sweater that is this expensive. Like, it can't be, for me, it can't be again, this is for me, like a Beetlejuice colorway or like something bright, because I want to be able to wear it with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to feel that way when I'm 85.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love it. I love them both so much.
It was just so fun to knit more than anything. It was
so
just
fast,
so fun.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, oh, I really got to get on this for this weekend.
Well, and the sleeves go so fast.
Yeah. I really want to make a blanket out of this yarn. Now that would be a ridiculous amount of money.
Now I want to as well.
Can you imagine a cabled blanket?
No, the only thing I'm going to say is the thing that immediately flashes into my mind is the amount of wrist pain trying to knit a bulk weight.
You are 100% right. Sorry, I was hearing a weird noise. I'm kind of afraid of the basement.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I understand that.
You live down here. I don't know how you did it.
Oh, I was woken up one night to mice scuffling overhead. It was terrifying.
It's terrifying. We have an exterminator because we live in the woods. Like, it's impossible to escape it. But right. and this is only the finished basement. It's beautiful. Well, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful basement. But then we have an unfinished basement, which, if I wasn't so afraid of that basement, that would be my dye studio, and this would all be my office. Mm-hmm. Oh, there wouldn't be anything in our main house.
Think about it.
I talk like our main house, like
the upstairs,
the state. It's not. So anyways, those are our bulky sweaters. But yes, wrist pain is real. I have a lot of wrist issues. So I do have to be careful. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, even the socks we're knitting right now.
Really?
A little bit. Not a lot. Not a lot. I'm going to move a little closer. I'm on a stool that could fall right over.
Careful.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Well, so
I want to show. Can I show before we get into the newer socks that we're doing? Because I was going to say, I can't remember the last time we podcast. None of these colors even existed the last time we podcasted. And I want to talk about our sock sets because we get a lot of questions about them. Hold on, please. So the Crunkled sock with fingering weight has become my favorite. I have another sock somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Never mind.
Right in my hand.
So the monkey sock by Cookie A has always been my favorite sock, and I've always adored it. It's still now two patterns take the #1 spot because I can't. I love the monkey sock. So one is the Crunkled sock.
Oh my God, so pretty. Hang on 1 second. Hey, love.
Okay.
Can you turn it down just a little bit, sweetie pie? You can turn it down just a touch, and you don't have to turn it off.
I can't hear it on this end.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so one of our new colorways is Imaginarium. Not brand new. It's been out for a little while, but let's be honest. Woodland Shenanigans is probably new. It's been so long.
I know.
But anyways, Imaginarium, the Crunkled sock by Kay Jones, the Bakery Bears. I love the pattern so much.
It's so pretty. I love the texture of it.
I love the texture. So this is Imaginarium.
And that was our New Year's Eve colorway.
Yes, thank you for remembering that. Okay, let's go in order. Let's go in chronological order.
Okay.
Then came our beautiful collaboration with Joanna, stitching the high notes, our Sweeter Than Honey collaboration, which I do think she is continuing to put those bags in her shop. I can't remember if I've seen them lately.
I know she did one more time. I don't know if she's continuing to or not.
I should have brought mine down. I forgot. Same. So then we did Sweeter Than Honey. I need lots more of these. This was a micro set. Crunkle again. So I'm going to show you guys what a micro set is. And we are going to discuss how they work. Listen to me. And we are going to discuss how they work. So many people are confused, rightly so. I feel like if I wasn't a yarn dyer, I would be in that group of people of confusion. This does not look like a lot of yarn. This is enough yarn for heels, toes, and cuffs with your mini skein, which if you notice, it's about 1 inch. And I have leftover after this.
Okay.
After 2 socks.
Okay.
Okay. And then this is enough for the actual body of the sock. Now, if you're a size 13, it might be an issue. But I would say probably up to a size 10, 11. So that's what the micro sets are all about. And as time goes on, I might add 2, we've got a lot of little fun changes coming our way. I might do 2 minis with it, or I don't know. But so this is an option. And then I like being right by my yarn because I don't have a mess when I go upstairs. And then this is an option. Now with this, if you had 2 skeins, 2 mini skeins, this is where I might do the 2 mini skeins. You could get 2 pairs of socks.
Easy. I mean, I think you can even with that. You just wouldn't have contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs.
Right, right. So that's how we offer our socks sets. And what I find the really cool piece of these is, so these are $21. So a lot of people, when we bring out a collection, they get 1 of each. So they get 4 gorgeous pairs of socks for $84. That's really cool. Like, I love when people do that because I figure, like, and with the other one, there's so much waste unless you have a plan for it.
Right.
There's so much waste and you've spent all that money. Now, if you're making a man sock or you have very large feet, you need the bigger one for sure. For sure. But so that is for the confusion, which I feel bad because we get a lot of emails over that. And I don't think we ever really gave it a good explanation.
Agreed. And I probably should find a place on the website. I do think I put it in some of the listings. Maybe I'll go through all the micro skein listings and put a disclaimer saying for the average size, but this will make this one set.
Yes. Or even I wonder, I don't really do anything with the website, so I don't know how any of it works. Could it be like a little paragraph? Like,
yes, it would just, people would have to know to navigate to it. Like yeah. I feel like if they have to go searching for it, it could be like, they just might not see it.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see. Then lastly, so this weekend we are doing a virtual trunk show, which at the end we'll talk a lot about for Paige of Frame and Fiber, not for, with Paige, well, for. She came on our Instagram live this morning. It was so much fun.
I'm so bummed I missed it.
We're going to have guests on Thursdays.
Oh, I love that.
I know. It was Rachel. Rachel's brilliant. Rachel should be our, what is that called when you have such good ideas all the time?
Idea woman? No.
Yeah.
Producer?
Or just throw it at us. Tell us what to do.
Yeah. We're open-minded.
So every year for the past 4 years, one of the years I actually went down and it was so much fun. And maybe next year we could both go down. Like, it's like,
I can't think about it.
People
Oh my God, I can't think about it because I will literally get like my heart's racing thinking about like
I
walking
know.
into Frame and Fiber and seeing all of our friends and being able to physically hug them. Okay, well, yes.
I
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
know. And it was so wonderful when I went. I just feel like that is our core group. It really is. Like it's where we started kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so, anyways, I make a special color to be in her shop for the wool walk every year. This is this year's color, and I'll go through the others late when we do the trunk show
Mhm.
or the talk about the trunk show.
Mhm.
This is Octopuses Garden. They're always shore related names.
Mhm.
I love this name. I love this color, like
It's amazing.
beyond love it.
Oh my gosh. Our friend Rachel commented on I did an Instagram post today of the wall of yarn behind you. And Rachel instantly picked out, she was like, that peach one is calling my name. I was like, oh my God, me
It's,
too.
and you know what? It's so funny because Paige, I love Paige so much. She said, so the wool walk's coming up. I'm sure you're not going to want to do like a trunk show or anything, are you? Like, you probably won't. It's just, and I was like, stop talking. And yes.
Yes.
But once I say that, I kind of go into panic, like, oh, I need a color, and oh, what will a virtual trunk show look like? And oh, and I tried my hardest to, get that patience and let the idea come naturally and not push it. And here it is.
I love it. I really want a pair of or a DK weights game for after all the sales die down. I really want a DK weights game for a pair of socks.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I love making socks so much.
Same.
I really do. I really, really do. I love making sweaters, but my life is just so like, there's just so much that goes on, right? There's like, I have to shift my brain all the time to deal with different things and the business end of it. And there's just so much that goes on that makes me dizzy, really. And this is what quiets it, a simple project that can get done. It's not another thing in your pile. So the second one is just about done. These second ones are all cast on, but I'm looking forward to them because I love the pattern so much.
Sometimes it's nice to cast on the second one and let it sit because then you know you have it right there for when you're like, oh, I need a sock project, but you don't want to do the whole casting on.
Cast on. Right. And I do a Zoom call every week. I used to do more. I only do one now on Thursday nights. And I love that I have a sock to pick up and knit during it. Like they don't even know I'm knitting. On Zoom calls, you can't really see your hands.
I mean, I'm knitting right now. Can you tell?
I know. Nobody knows you're knitting.
Right.
Doesn't even look like you're knitting.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm in love with socks again. I just love them so much. And I love our yarn with the socks. Like I think it allows me to use our yarn without a huge project and really getting a feel for what it looks like. And yeah. Okay, I'm tired of talking.
I love it. And see, like for me, fingering weight socks had gotten really old. And that's when I really started focusing on garments. Like I've had a lot more finished objects since the last time we podcasted, but it would take me hours to be podcasting about it. Well, honey. Okay. Okay, come here. I can help you.
I love her voice so much. That's what I miss most when I come home is hearing her voice. When I wake up and oh, hi, Grammy in the morning.
It really is the best. But so yeah, like I would be, and that's kind of like where my Chelsea Makes comes in. That's where I really focus. You get a weekly update of all my making and but anyways, so I've really been focused on garments and clearing off my needles. I am proud to say I don't have a single garment on my needles right now. I don't have a single shawl on my needles right now. They've all been finished and tucked away for the next fall and winter.
You so didn't get that from me. It's such a good thing.
It is. And I can't even say that it happened quickly. It was just like the season of life. Like probably this last month, I've taken a project a week and literally only knit on that project. It hasn't always been easy. There have definitely been times where I'm like, oh, I just want to knit something else. But I find if I can just push through that And it's not like it's a detriment. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm so sad I'm knitting on this. It's just like taming like the voices that are distracting me. Anyways, so but yeah, so I've been really focused on garments and shawls and getting all those done. And now that they're done, I am head first into accessory knitting. So I knit Justin a hat recently, which of course I don't have.
Yes, I saw it.
It was a tweed.
You knit that in like 3 days.
Yeah. So I started. Do you want to come say hi?
Hi, Grammy.
Hi, Lil.
Watching.
I can't see you, honey bun.
I didn't hear what they're saying.
Hi, you're still in your jammies.
What?
Yeah, you're.
We're getting some yarn, Grammy.
Oh, are you getting some yarn, Grammy?
Yes, look at all our beautiful yarn, Lil. Isn't it pretty?
Grammy, you
Love her blueberry face.
You're on stuff.
Are you at the yarn store, Grammy?
I'm at Grammy's house in the basement.
It kind of looks like a yarn store, though, doesn't it?
It does look like a yarn store, doesn't it? I can't believe this is our basement. Like,
No.
oh, heavenly. We have workmen come in that are like, what is that? Like, they are blown away by this. Like, they really are fascinated. It's hysterical.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So anyways, super into garment knitting right now. I got a hat knit for Justin, like you said, in like 3 days. And what I wanted to say about that was I've started experimenting with flicking. So typically I'm an English knitter. I throw, I take my hands.
I'm a flicker.
You are a flicker. You became one recently though, yes?
I'm not always, I'm a all over the mapper, but with socks, I love to flick because it's right there.
Oh, see, and I haven't gotten it down with socks yet because I feel like there's not enough needle. Practice.
I mean, I think on the 9-inchers, it's a little tougher because there's so much managing that tiny little, there's such bigness managing that tiny little thing.
Exactly. So for these
but
ones,
it is, but practice, because I can see this. It's like,
yeah, it's just a matter of, I'm sure I could get it down. Oopsies, I'm at a pearl ridge.
Purling, I can even do it. Not super fast, but
that will take me a while to get used to. All the stitches just came falling off. But no, so typically I'm an English knitter. Like this is my way of knitting and purling. But with
just watching you do that, I think there's the wrist stress is involved in that. Because you're, instead of this, you're
probably, yes.
Maybe I should become an orthopedic surgeon. Probably not.
Sure.
There's no words. Let's just end that conversation.
And end scene.
Never mind.
But yeah,
There's nowhere to go with it.
I mean, I'll encourage you if you want. It's never too late in life.
No, you know how I faint.
I know the blood would be a real challenge.
Okay.
But so anyways, that's how I typically knit. But when I cast on Justin's sockhead hat, once I got to the just going around and around, I just started playing around with it and I had a really fast rhythm with it. And so it literally knit, it knit itself, but I also did not knit the slouch part of the sockhead slouch hat. It's very much a form fitting. I'll try and get a picture of him wearing it and put it in here. It's just like a form fitting toque and it folds up like a sockhead hat does. But yeah, it was super fast and I want to knit another one. I want to get one cast on because it was just such a beautifully mindless project. It was so nice. And it helped me acclimate back to fingering weight yarn after working on this. So
I love going back to fingering weight after bulky because I love fingering weight. But again, I love fingering weight for socks.
See, and I am so happy that we've discovered these DK weight socks because fingering weight yarn for socks, I really, really like. Do not get me wrong. But after discovering the joy of DK weight socks, I don't know if I'm going to be going back.
I'm going to go back for sure because there's so many patterns I love, but I'm not going to go back for a while because I'm going to knit every single colorway we have in DK. Okay, let's show them.
Okay, so I'll show my first. Oh, see, and you have yours done. I only have
a
work.
sock a day. A sock a day. Well, not you. You have 2 little ones. They're so beautiful.
They're so fun.
There's okay. So so I no longer am on Periscope because Periscope is gone, which we should talk about this year. So I have an Instagram account that is just for Instagram Live, where you can interact, and it's not open to my Instagram feed, my normal Instagram feed, because there's too many people there that I don't know. So you have to get approved to come in, which just means you have to have knitting in your feed. You have to have stitching in your feed. It's not like I'm like vetting you or anything, but we all know how many people follow us on Instagram that we don't even know. And I just saw somebody go live, somebody that I follow go live and said, oh, let's let someone join us. And it was, I had shut it off because I was doing something, but she came back and said, we won't do that again. We're going to have, and so it went bad. So that's not, but that's also, they came on face to face. Like we don't do that. Although we are having guest Thursday,
right?
Which today we had guests again, Rachel.
Right.
She's brilliant. She's our guest next week. So why was I talking about this to begin with?
You said you wanted to know
the pattern. So somebody on there, I started talking about, I'm going to do some DK socks. I'm dying to do some DK socks because we have so much gorgeous yarn, and especially the new colorways. And everyone, quite a few people, I know Penny was one of them, said, do the Rye Socks by TinCanKnits. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote it down. I take notes during all of our things. So I wrote it down, I looked it up, and I said, oh, it's really pretty, but it's got purling down the center and I don't want to purl, and so, which is, that first impression of something where you automatically judge it and you don't give it time. It's just that initial, like, oh, I saw purling, I don't want to purl. For some reason, then I went back and I looked at it and I was like, I only have to purl every other row for 14 stitches and it's beautiful. So it is the Rye Sock by TinCanKnits. This is our Sea Creature, which was last year's New Jersey wool walk color. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, so I do there's several patterns, right? There's a Rye Sock light. So I think it's in fingering, worsted, and DK, I think.
Well, they have a worsted one too.
Yeah, I thought so. But I do 48 stitches. It's a free pattern. 24 of them are just knitting round and round, and the other 14, well, no, it's more than 24. It's 34. And the 14 in the middle are knit a row, purl a row, knit a row, purl a row. I literally can't stop, you guys.
Same. Oh, hang on. I just need to help Lily for a second.
That's okay. We stop always for Lily. We stop everything for Lily.
Thank you, Graham. But eating iPad, but Jake's going downstairs.
Daddy's downstairs working, using the iPad.
Oh, you never Jake got no. Very tired.
Charlie was really tired, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie's snoozing, huh?
Yeah. Honey, I don't know how to fix this, babe.
That's okay, Mommy.
Okay. But I didn't realize they had a worsted version. I did see the light one though.
I'm pretty sure there's a worsted version. I could be wrong. So Sea Creature glass ceiling, which is, I love this colorway so much. Yeah. And yours is more turquoisey. It's so funny.
This is one of the first ones that you dyed, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm using a 50-gram skein.
And it has, what I love about it, and it has it in yours too, but it has such a vintage look, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like this vintage rich color.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed.
Same. I want, just like you, I want like 5 different pairs, maybe more. Who knows?
Oh, the next color. I have a feeling we're both going to do this color because I know it's your favorite color and I want it so bad.
Peach Blossom.
Peach Blossom. It's getting a little blown out. I also want to do Octopus's Garden.
I want to do Octopus's Garden. So I think that's going to be the next one I want.
Yeah. Octopus's Garden. Again,
Also,
getting blown out.
Yeah, it's definitely getting blown out. We'll try and do photos in here.
I know. Look at the Octopus's Garden.
It's so pretty. It's actually more accurate just by looking at it on the walls.
On the wall. I agree. I agree. So yeah, so we're thinking, I don't know if we're going to actually set up all the details here, but we'd like to do a DK sock knit along.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we'll have to, I haven't looked at like dates or anything like that, but I would like to do that. And maybe we'll talk about it on our trunk show. Maybe I'll iron them out and we can talk about it in the trunk show.
In the trunk show, yes. And I think it would be the usual. If you use our yarn, you get more than one entry.
Yeah, you'll get double entries.
Yes. And we do have a lot of DK yarn right now. But again, sometimes we don't notice the shop is out. And someone will say, do you have any more Kirk? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize it was out. So I dye up another batch. So, okay, I'm going to show you a few DKs because I'm in love with them. So Kirk will never go away.
No, Kirk is our tried and true classic. I feel like it's what people come to us to find.
We have two of those. Woodland Shenanigans.
Love Woodland.
Thanks to Sandy. Sandy's been knitting with it and it's really made a comeback because of her. And I love it so much. Imaginarium.
Oh, that would be a fun DK weight sock too.
I know. The problem is I used Imaginarium here, so I like to get a variety so people can see. What's that?
I would do the Imaginarium.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe you should just come down and get some.
We're so close.
So close. We should say I am fully vaccinated and you are about to be fully vaccinated.
Yep. In another week. We'll have our second shot in and then we'll have the 2-week incubation period and then we are vaccinated.
I know. And we've even reached the incubation period and most of my friends have too. Having said that, I really haven't seen anyone yet. And honestly, we're both of the same mindset of it doesn't mean we're going to be out at wild parties. We can just see each other.
Right.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, same.
I know. That's all I need.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to show you the one that I'm knitting on right now because I'm doing something super fun with this one.
I feel like so many people are going to be able to do this with their leftovers.
I hope so. I hope that they have enough. I anticipate I'm not the only one that has this many leftovers, but I knit a Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry, probably 2 years ago I finished it, I would say, maybe at least. And it's knit out of DK weight yarn. And I've had all of these leftovers from my fade that I've held on to because I love the fade and I had no idea what to do with them. So I'm knitting a pair of Rye Socks that we just talked about, DK weight, and I'm fading them.
And you could make 5 pairs.
You think so with this amount? I mean,
at least 2, just maybe Christmas next year.
What?
You're not getting what I'm laying down. I see just 2, probably 2 pairs and Christmas next year.
Gotcha. Perfect. On it. But yeah, so I've started fading them already.
Oh, I love it.
You think you can tell?
That color is just literally butter.
Yes. So the first color is Buttercream Frosting. This one is Wedding Cake. And then it's going to go into Antique Lace.
Love Antique Lace.
Me too. And Worn Leather. So I'm really excited. And it reminds me a lot of the Fluorite Socks by Andrea Mowry. Those are the reverse stockinette. I think they were reverse stockinette socks.
I totally know which ones you're talking about.
I know. It makes me curious to know if she has a pattern for those in DK weight, but I have a feeling it's just fingering. But what I wanted to say is if any of you guys have any other DK weight sock patterns that you would highly recommend, throw them in the comments below and we'll check them out. And it's just for anybody else who wants a resource. Head down.
Yeah, I would love that same thing. It's also, so let's talk about how much you can get out of one skein. So I I weighed my sock that it was done. I should have done this all ahead of time. And again, I should have measured, but I did it in grams. Chelsea was like, do it in grams. And then I weighed what was left, and I had more than the sock that was finished. So I have more than enough, but there's this nudge in me that was like, can I trust that? I'm going to do it. So I'm on my second one. I know there's going to be more than enough. Having said that, I'm probably between a 7.5 and an 8. So if you're a much bigger foot than that, I don't think one will be enough. I think you will need 2. As soon as we can secure some more DK weight minis, I am going to be selling them with 2 minis, because I think you're going to need 2 minis. Again, I will test that out. And then you could go to a much larger sock with 1 skein and 2 minis.
Yeah. So we'll start doing DK weight sock sets.
And I'm going to measure, because somebody asked me, and I know people will ask this question. Somebody asked me this morning, well, how long is your cuff? How long is this? How long is that? So I did a cuff ribbing of 1 inch, 1.25 inches. And then the entire down to the heel. Let me take it off of here. It doesn't work well on here. So then down to the heel flap, which I did a heel flap and gusset, including the ribbing at the top, it is 6.25 inches. And I'm going to have enough. And then this is 8.5 inches, I believe, all the way to the toe, 8.5 inches. So that'll just give you an idea. If you're like, oh, I'm a 9, it makes me really nervous, I'm not sure, I would encourage you to get 2. But I cannot wait till we get the minis so that you'll be able to make these socks for really, really reasonable.
Well, you know what? I just had a good idea too. If you are a bigger size and you wanted, get a fun speckle skein that you love, and then get a semi-solid skein. That way you could get 2 pairs. You could get 2 different pairs. So you could use the leftover from your speckled skein as the heel, toes, and cuffs with your semi-solid, and the leftover from the semi-solid for the heel. Could be a really fun way to knit 2 pairs. And
yes. Or you could get, like, I keep thinking blueberry, because blueberry goes with all of our colors. I swear, all of our Under the Sea collection, well, most of them. Our newer colors, or like Grey Gardens, get 1 full skein, and then you'll be able to use that for all different, like if you wanted, 2 or 3 other speckles, if you were looking to make a lot, 1 full skein that goes with all of them.
Would give you a ton.
Thank you for saying that, because I had wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, I think it would just be a really good option.
This is our most gorgeous new color.
So pretty.
Which I have to get in the shop. I forgot to put it in.
The Aquanet?
Aquanet. My favorite name too. I'm going to take them so I can photograph them. I won't forget. So yeah. Oh, I dropped it.
So I also wanted to mention for this project, just because I know when I'm watching a podcast, I want to know details. For this DK weight sock, I'm using a US size 3. So that's, I think, that's same 3.25 millimeter needle. And for this one, I'm using a 9-inch circular. And for this one, which is in our Hydrangea colorway, I'm using DPNs, but they're both knit picks. Knit picks? Yes, knit picks. No, Knitter's Pride Zings.
Right.
Thank you.
I knew it didn't sound right, but I didn't know what it was.
Knitter's Pride Zings. They're very affordable. You can find them at my local yarn store, but they also have an online presence, mustloveyarn.com. They carry these needles.
I need to get 2 more pairs. I only have 1 pair and it's killing me.
I'm so grateful that I had the 9-inchers, because I wanted to cast on this fade one so bad, and I knew I only had 1 set of DPNs, so I was really excited to discover these.
I know, it's killing me. I love DPN sock knitting. I love it. It's how I started. I didn't do it for years. I then went to 2 circulars, then I went to Magic Loop, and I am right back at, I love DPNs. They fit perfect in my hands. A sock just settles right in. I don't feel at all stressed, and
I
love them.
Yeah, I feel that way about 9-inchers, just because I don't have to do any transferring. It's just around and around. And
you love your 9 inches.
Oh my God, obsessed. Actually, I wanted to show my other pair of socks that I cast on with 9 inchers because it has our fox paws colorway with the cup.
Oh, I love them.
Aren't they pretty? So this is fox paws, and then this is a Republic of Wool colorway, which I purchased this probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I lost the belly band because I caked it up thinking I'm going to cast them on, and I never did. But isn't it pretty?
I love that. Oh my gosh. That is such a, for me, it's like such a great boy sock. I don't know why those colors and the striping. I see a little boy in like a rugby shirt.
Yeah, I could see that.
I love it.
So yeah, I'm just, because I have them on 9 inchers, this is fingering weight yarn. But I am just obsessed with 9 inchers because my hands are comfortable. If they weren't comfortable, I wouldn't like them. And you just maintain that momentum.
Round and round. Well, you also have 2 little ones running around, double point needles. That's a lot going on.
It's a little tricky also.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. Also, my Sandy bag's upstairs.
I have mine, I'll show. So
I have the green one.
We snagged project bags from our friend Sandy's latest update, and she included these amazing little patchwork pouches for us. Mom's is green. And
I'm so mad I don't have mine down here because that is so beautiful to look at. And if I was here holding mine, it would be perfect.
I know.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
I love our Sandy bags. I was saying on my latest vlog for Chelsea Makes, I literally have like 6 of these just everywhere. I use them for
everything. Love them.
Yeah.
I probably have 4 laying around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her newest bags that are coming out.
The bento bags. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you have any other knitting to show?
I don't have any other knitting to show.
I have one last finished object that I wanted to share because I talked about it last time and I finished it since, and I thought it was
started mine. I'm dying to. Oh,
I just thought it.
Me. I feel like that is going to be some beautiful rainy day when I need something new. Oh my gosh, I need to have it by the fall, so I've got to get it out. Oh, I love it so much.
I do too. It's one of my favorite accessories I've ever made. And I could have finished it quicker. I just, for some reason, put it down. But yeah,
this is going to kill me. Now I want to go get it right now.
Isn't it cute?
So you.
Thank you. I love how it just like the colors kind of warped in and out of being earth tony, and then there's a little bit of a pop in the center.
Jewels. Oh, it's stunning.
Thank you. So it's my
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's knit with Spin Cycle yarns. I don't remember the base, I don't remember the colorways, but I have a project page that I'll link down below. It was a joy to knit. The colors change constantly, the textures change constantly. It is super potato chippy, a lot like a stripy sock where you just want to get to that next section. It's very doable. The only skill that I didn't know, not that I didn't know, but that I'm just not super well practiced in, was the mattress stitching in the back. But it's so easy to just look up a tutorial. I sat down, it took me maybe 15 minutes to do, and it just creates this really beautiful finished object. So it is worked flat.
I was going to ask you that. Oh my gosh. It is so pleasing to the eye. Everything about it. You just like can't get enough of that. Oh my gosh.
It was so lovely to knit. So anyway, I got my yarn from Purl To Walla Walla. They have an amazing selection of Spin Cycle yarns and yarns at large. They have a beautifully curated collection. So I will put their shop link down below. Go check them out. Their shipping is fantastic. They're fast. You get it quick. So yeah.
Is that where you got my kit from?
I was just gonna say that's where my friend Lacey, who works there, helped me put together your palette. So yeah, we got your yarn from there too.
I cannot wait. It was my Christmas present, and I literally like put it in my cubbies. I just want to work on it so bad.
But you know what? It's
for some reason, but I will say I'm getting that overwhelmed start because it looks so hard, and I know it's not.
It's so easy.
I know, but in my head, it looks like there's a little bit of brain work, but I know it's not. So, oh, I have to get to it.
But you know what? It's perfect because it's going to be that project that brings you so much joy. Like you're going to be at a place where when you pick it up, that it's going to fill you up and it's going to be the only thing that you focus on.
Well, it's interesting because I think that's the other piece of it for me is I want to savor it.
Totally.
I think that was my initial like, oh, I'm going to save this.
Totally.
And yeah, I can't wait.
I do that a lot. I feel like a lot of times I'll ask you for yarn for something specific. Like my sweater's quantity of tweed, and it's like I need to be so ready to knit and cast that on so that I don't just throw it on my needles and then tuck it away and forget. Like I need to be all in on a project before it touches.
Yes, I agree with you. I totally can relate to that.
Yeah. So I fully support tucking it away until it is screaming your name.
I know. The exciting part is it has everything right there. Like I don't have to go find the needles. I don't like it's all in this package and it's like, oh, I cannot wait.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that was the last knitting I wanted to show just because I thought it would be a fun little extra.
Yes. So because you just mentioned our tweed, I do want to show that because I don't think we've ever shown it to the world. So we kind of did like, you know, it's so funny. Oh, we also have to talk about, we have so much to talk about. Okay.
I know, and I don't have a ton of time. So we have to get boogie in.
All I'm going to show you is our beautiful fingering tweed, the colors. I'm not even going to go through them all. I'm just going to go, we have tweed and it's fantastic and it's fingering weight and we love it so much.
Head to our website. It's probably one of my favorite collections we've ever had. And I can't wait for my brain to be ready to cast that sweater on.
I can't wait till you do because I think it's going to motivate me to do it because I really love the tweed, but I've got nothing gnawing at me that I think that's what I want to make with tweed.
Totally.
So yeah.
Totally.
Okay. So do we want to talk about rebranding or do we want to talk about the trunk show? I think those are the last two things we need to talk about.
I feel like we can kind of do both since we're kind of juggling both simultaneously. They're happening at the same time. The next couple of days, we're going to be rolling out a brand new logo. You're probably going to be seeing it in the corner of your screen right now. Yes, we got all of our new belly bands linked with them. Printed.
They are so beautiful. So Chelsea designed these. We were like, we just felt like it was time. We wanted to just get a little more sophisticated of a look for now. It's really bad glare. And it's weird. Like you just nailed it. You just sat down and did it.
The powers within me just like, it just came, because I had been really envisioning something very specific for such a long time that when I sat down and it just happened, it was like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for. Like the universe just wasn't, my brain wasn't ready for it yet, but yeah.
It's fantastic. So what's going to happen with it is like, of course they came yesterday as I'm finishing up all of this and I'm like, oh, and it's going to take an incredibly long time to re-photograph everything and all of that. So it's going to be a gradual process, that end of it. But my goal is all orders going out from here on out will have our new belly bands on them. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just going to, as the order comes through, I'm going to redo it. I would have loved to for this, but there's just no way.
It's a lot of work and we are at crunch time now. So but so that's why we're kind of doing it gradually. We're kind of incorporating it in with our day-to-day workflow and we'll do all the digital stuff. Like I said, you're probably going to see the logo on our YouTube page and on this video right now.
People have already noticed it on Instagram. When I popped on really quick, I was like, oh, is that a new logo? And I didn't. I was going to talk about it on the Instagram live this morning, which they do get most information first.
Yeah.
But I thought, no, this is pretty big. I think we need to do it more officially on together.
Totally.
Together.
Totally.
So yeah. Can I insert something here because we're going to forget about this? Mm-hmm. And I know you've addressed it, but it's good to address it here too, is our advents. Everyone is like, are you going to have more? Are you going to have more? Mm-hmm. Our advent this year is spectacular, I have to say. And it's not really about the yarn. It's about what we're doing with the yarn, the design. So we collaborated with Natalie of Remembrance Potteries, such a special friend, an amazing artist. And oh my gosh, it's just been seamless,
Mhm.
the whole process.
Mhm.
So she has designed a beautiful, all we're telling you is it's a stocking. I think it's fair to let people know, because if you just say, oh, you're going to be able to use the yarn, we're going to enclose a pattern. Like, I think it's important to know what that pattern is. Plus, it's so exciting. Like, it's so unique. It's amazing.
Mhm.
So we only released our first half because there is yarn issues going on in the world again. Just, it's not that you can't, well, it is you can't get the yarn. It's more about the shipping of it, right? It's like, and then the big box, what do you call those giant like cargo boxes that come in
Oh yeah,
off of ships?
I forget what they're called. Cargo something.
Yeah. Well,
I-
then they sit in a place for longer than they should. And so there's just a lot of logistics that are getting in the way. We have been guaranteed we will have yarn. It's not that, it's just waiting till it's in our own hands. It's incredibly stressful to sell something that you don't have in your hands for us.
Right.
So once we get that next batch in our hands, we will be doing another release of Advents. So, and there's going to be a good amount. I would suggest subscribing to our newsletter to get that information and following us on Instagram.
Mhm.
That's where you're going to hear about it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we can't, you know, a lot of people say, can you let me know? And it's impossible. Like you just have to follow our feeds in order to get that information.
Right. Because we will let you know. We just can't do it on a person by person basis. We'd be sending
Yeah.
thousands of emails, and that's just not efficient.
Yeah. And again, I never even gave that what my Instagram is. What is it?
I'll put it down below. I believe it's Knit24 Periscope at Knit24 Periscope.
Yes,
And so
Chelsea will put it down below.
Yeah.
And I generally go on 3 days a week. It's quite often Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 8:15 is when I go on.
That's
Sorry, it feels like that didn't really fit in, but I was so afraid we were going to forget to
No,
talk
no,
about
no. I think that's perfect because that is something I had wanted to talk about and I had totally lost track of it. So yes,
Mhm.
Advents, there will be more going up. Just keep your eyes peeled and we will do our best to communicate when those will be listed ahead of time. That way you can set alarms.
Yeah. And I feel there's a good number. It's not a tiny number. It's a good number. So
But
don't panic.
that first release, I mean, there were definitely some people that were upset because it was under 24 hours and they were gone. So if you only subscribe to our newsletter, you might want to also maybe just create like a little shell account for Instagram because we do like the up to date, like, okay, they're live now or they're going live in 15 minutes because.
And you can set alarms through it.
Right. And if you're anything like me, I don't check my inbox a lot. I check it probably every couple of days. So it is kind of frustrating if you head to your inbox and you see the announcement and then they're sold out.
And
so
you missed it.
just try your best.
Believe me, I know that frustration because
Totally.
we live that frustration with our yarn.
Totally.
So,
So,
yeah.
so it's just worth noting that definitely just set an alarm. Like you said, there's a good chance that we will have a lot available for a while, but just in case.
Yeah, there's no knowing how
Yeah.
long it will last, but it's a good number, so it should last a little longer. So yeah, so let's talk trunk show because we're gonna run out of time. So do you want to take it?
Sure. I mean, it's super simple. So we are going to be participating in the 2021 New Jersey Wool Walk via a digital or a virtual trunk show with our friend Paige at Frame and Fiber down in New Jersey. We are going to be on a Zoom. So to access the Zoom call, it is absolutely free. All you have to do is go to Frame and Fiber's website. You will see a New Jersey Wool Walk. I will also link it down below, but a New Jersey Wool Walk tab, which you click on, scroll all the way down and you'll see the I mean like oh, there's a bunny outside. It's a baby. Oh, it's a baby. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was such a distraction, but it's so sweet.
Oh,
Oh,
so
and
little.
it
You
just
sure it's
ran.
not a chipmunk?
No, it was a baby because we have a lot of chipmunks too. But so yes, you just have to go down. You'll see our logo. You'll see a link right next to it at 10. So our Zoom call is from 10 to 11 this Saturday, April 24th. That's 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. Click on the link and you'll pop right into Paige's Zoom room and we will be there answering questions. You'll be able to type in the text box questions or whatever you would like to talk with us about. And yeah, we'll be featuring some new colors, some tried and true colors, a lot of what you saw today. And yeah, all of our featured.
There's one thing people love, love, love our mini sets. And again, because of the amount of yarn that we don't have, we have this collection that's going to go out during the wool walk. Everything will be in the shop after. So it's not like if you don't get on, you're not going to be able to get our yarn. Like all of these gorgeous new colorways will be featured on the homepage and you'll be able to get them. However, I only have 30 sets, 20 or 30, I haven't decided yet, of these minis. Once they're gone, I am not sure how quickly I will be able to do any more of them, just because of the lack of yarn.
And
So oh, go ahead, Chelsea.
I was just gonna say, in that collection that you're holding right there is all of the colorways from all of our years of participating in the New Jersey
It's
Wool Walk.
Under the Sea. There's 4 skeins. So that is the only, and I hate to say it, I did this on Instagram. It's like, I don't mean like, oh, you should be just to get those. It's like, you know, just so that you know, if that's something you love of ours and your goal is to always get them, there's a very good chance within that hour they would be gone.
Yeah, I even said on
Everything
Instagram.
else, yeah, everything else I feel like you will be able to access at any time.
Totally. Yeah.
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 We're so excited. I'm so excited about it.
Me too. I'm super excited. I'm excited because we've never really done one before. I love that it's with Paige. I love it's for the New Jersey Wool Walk. Like you said, New Jersey is kind of our home base when it comes
It's
to
our
our
home.
knitting family. And
Yeah, I literally will do anything for Paige, like anything.
Mhm.
Like if she wants Winnie, she can have her.
Have you had a frustrating morning with Winnie?
It's been a rough morning. On the Instagram live, she was doing the thing where she was moving my chair around the room while I was sitting. And Paige was on at that time. We were dying. I was like,
God.
it looks like I'm in an earthquake.
Oh my, I have to go back and watch the replay because I wasn't able to hop on today, but
Yes, and you can watch those replays. Thank you for saying that. Tell them how, because I don't know. Is it hitting on my face?
They say, well, so when you go to the profile, the Instagram profile, you'll see 3 tabs right above the grid. I think it's 3. And I believe it's the middle tab that's your Instagram or your IGTV.
Because I saved them to IGTV.
Right. So if you click on that center tab, for lack of a better word, you will see all the conversations saved from the
You can't see the conversations, but you typically know the conversation by what I'm saying.
Right.
Because I'm always answering the questions that are thrown at me. And and generally I like always say to people, I don't know why people watch the rerun because it seems like so like whatever. It's just a fun morning conversation. This one is worth watching.
Oh my gosh, I'll definitely go watch.
You know, Rachel bullied Paige to be on because I was like, Paige, you know, if you want to come tell us all the details, you could, but I understand you could be laying in bed. And next thing you know, there's a request and she's like, so yeah, so there are people. I do feel like they are our people.
I agree. So
and I'm very grateful for all of them.
Same.
So yeah.
Same. Yeah. So it'll be a fun event. Come join us. Like I said, it's free. You don't need to do anything other than just sit there and enjoy the conversation if you want for an hour with your Saturday morning coffee. If you are interested in shopping the yarn, like Mom said, you purchase it through our website. So just head to the homepage. You'll see everything featured there.
Yeah, so you kind of will need 2 devices, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It would be easier.
Probably be easier. Either that or, like we said, it's going to be a leisurely shopping experience with the exception of the mini skeins. So if you would rather just sit back, kick up your feet, sip on your coffee during the virtual trunk show, and then head over to our website and purchase your yarn, we will be keeping an eye on the stock. We'll make sure that we keep replenishing the colorways that are going fast. So really just take it, enjoy it, let it be a fun experience. Don't let it be too stressful. Like Mom said, the only thing that we have limited supply of are the minis. So.
And I'm disappointed because I love when we can have like as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, and who knows, maybe we can restock them at a later date when we get more inventory in.
That's my goal. It's just not knowing when. That's my problem. Like if I could say in a month I'll restock them, I just don't know when. It could be a week. Who knows? We don't know.
Totally.
It's a little stressful. Let's just say that out loud.
The not knowing is not ideal, but we are doing our best to make sure that we have as much as we can for you guys. So
we are. One of our main jobs right now is yarn management.
Yeah, and we're doing
And I think we do it really well, minus the minis, because Advent. Oh, okay. One last thing. So yes, Hanukkah is coming. Yes, the 13 Screams of Halloween are coming. Again, we're just waiting on supply before we announce, but they are coming. They are coming. And again, follow all those places and you will see that they are coming.
Yes,
exactly. We're so, I feel like I've been rejuvenated. I'm super excited about dyeing yarn right now. And I don't know, I finally feel like my energy is back. I don't know. I think the pandemic really messed with a lot of that for a lot of us.
Oh, and still is for a lot of
it still is.
So it's definitely probably a really nice breath of fresh air to feel that energy again.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
Well, you have all witnessed a Christmas miracle.
We just recorded. Can you imagine if I push stop and it's like, sorry, it didn't record?
I'm so afraid of that. I just looked up and it says record. It doesn't usually say record on my end, I thought, but maybe it does.
No, it says record.
But I did look and go, like, if this doesn't record,
I'll cry. Real tears.
Cry. I will cry. I'm not a crier, but boy, I think I'll cry.
Real tears. Yep. But
anyway. To do it again, when you hear people say this is my 5th time trying, it is impossible to know what you have said at what time. And
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
But we've got this. It recorded. It's perfect. And thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys for being here with us for another vlog podcast. And hopefully we'll be seeing you in a couple of days over at our trunk show.
I hope so.
Yeah. And who knows, hopefully we'll have another podcast up in a reasonably decent amount of time. Once we're fully vaccinated, we're going to be together a little more often than we were this past year. So yeah,
I think we'll have more opportunities. But honestly, when we're all together, if people could see the chaos during that time, like if there was a way to fit a podcast in, I can't imagine it. There's more of a chance if you're here because we're spread out here.
There's more space for it.
Yeah, and we could hide in the basement now.
Right.
Now that we're professional.
It's so professional. It only took us, 6 years, 5 years?
You know what? We don't push ourselves. We just roll along until we have to do something different. And
that's who we are. I have no issue with it.
Yeah, that's who we are. Whatever. All right, friends, you're all the very best for being with us.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out. And we will see you again soon. And like we always say, oh no, needles up.
Needles up.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.